Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence from 1993, a coin that at first glance may seem like an ordinary copper-plated disc, but for those who truly know its tale, it is a masterpiece of both history and rarity. Today, we at HD Ultra Rare Coins will dive deep into its journey, a journey that ultimately elevates this humble 2 pence piece into the realm of multimillion-dollar treasures. To understand the importance of the 1993 2 pence, we must first step back into the history of the decimalization of British coinage. The United Kingdom, steeped in centuries of tradition, finally made the great shift from pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal system in 1971. It was a monumental transition that simplified trade and aligned Britain with much of the modern world. Among the new decimal coins introduced was the humble 2 pence, a small denomination, yet one that carried immense significance as part of the broader decimal currency landscape. The 2 pence was not just a token of everyday exchange, it represented the modernization of Britain's economy and the evolution of its coinage heritage. Fast forward to 1993. The year in which our story centers. Queen Elizabeth II had already spent over 4 decades on the throne, her reign a symbol of resilience, continuity, and modernity. By then, the coins of Britain bore her image in a portrait by Raphael Makhlouf, introduced in 1985. This portrait showed her wearing the royal diadem, a crown traditionally worn by queens on state occasions, and it exuded a sense of dignity and timelessness. The 1993 2 pence proudly carried this effigy, symbolizing not only the nation's monetary system but also the enduring legacy of the longest reigning monarch in British history at the time. The obverse of the coin, as collectors know well, is a field of remarkable artistry. Elizabeth II faces right, crowned with the royal diadem, her name encircling the legend. Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. Abbreviated Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription has remained a defining feature of her coinage, linking every small coin in circulation to the vast legacy of British monarchy and faith. Though millions of such coins were minted, the small details, slight variations in lettering, spacing, or design, often define the difference between a common coin and an extraordinary rarity. On the reverse side of the 1993 2 pence lies a design that has captured the imagination of both casual users and serious collectors. The centerpiece is the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design has graced the 2 pence since its inception in 1971, and it symbolizes not just the heir to the throne, but the unity of tradition and continuity of the monarchy. Beneath this emblem, the words, 2 pence, are clearly inscribed, along with the year 1993. The combination of royal symbolism, elegant design, and precision minting makes the coin visually striking despite its small denomination. But what sets the 1993 2 pence apart from countless others? To the untrained eye, it might appear to be just another coin struck in the early 1990s. Yet numismatics thrives on the unexpected, on anomalies, on those quirks of minting that turn an ordinary coin into a rarity. The Royal Mint, responsible for striking Britain's currency, produced millions of coins in 1993, but subtle differences in production, limited runs, and rare errors have made certain examples of the 2 pence astonishingly valuable. Whether it be a misstrike, an off-metal strike, or a coin struck with a mule die, the rarest of the 1993 issues exist in vanishingly small numbers, transforming them from pocket change to priceless artifacts. Minting technology had advanced considerably by the 1990s, allowing for remarkable consistency and precision. Yet even in such conditions, errors were inevitable. It is these rare errors, preserved in pristine condition, that now excite collectors and investors alike. A 2 pence from 1993 that displays even the smallest unusual feature, a double strike, an off-center design, or a die clash, becomes a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. For a coin collector, finding such a piece is akin to unearthing a relic of lost treasure, a tangible connection between everyday money and extraordinary history. The appeal of the 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence is also magnified by the era in which it was struck. The early 1990s were a transitional period for Britain. The nation was emerging from the economic turbulence of the 1980s. The monarchy was facing both challenges and scrutiny, and the Royal Mint was steadily modernizing its operations. Coins from this period, though seemingly ordinary, now evoke nostalgia and historical resonance for collectors. They are not merely metallic discs but time capsules, encapsulating the spirit of a nation and the image of its queen at a pivotal moment in history. Collectors are often driven not just by rarity but by the stories coins tell. A coin like the 1993 2 pence, when viewed in the broader scope of numismatic history, serves as a symbol of endurance. It reflects the monarchy's resilience, the royal mint's precision, and the cultural heritage of Britain. For many collectors, owning such a coin is not just about possession, it is about preserving history, safeguarding a piece of the past, and ensuring its story continues for generations to come. And when rarity aligns with condition, the value of such a coin soars beyond imagination. Condition, of course, plays a vital role in determining value. The finest examples of the 1993 2 pence, preserved in uncirculated or proof condition, with lustrous surfaces and sharp details, are the ones that command extraordinary prices. These coins, untouched by circulation, become pristine artifacts of history. They are the numismatic equivalent of fine art paintings, objects of beauty as well as historical importance. Collectors know that only a handful of such coins may survive in top grades, and it is these that achieve astronomical values when they appear on the market. Over the years, the 1993 2 pence has built a reputation among elite collectors. Auction houses around the world have seen bidding wars erupt over the rarest examples, as passionate numismatists and investors alike compete for ownership. Stories abound of coins that once passed quietly through circulation, only to later be recognized as rare treasures worth fortunes. This transformation from humble pocket change to priceless artifact fuels the fascination surrounding such coins and inspires new generations of collectors to keep searching. The allure of this coin also rests in its symbolism of hidden wealth. To think that an everyday coin, one that countless people may have dismissed as insignificant, could hold within it the power to command millions is both thrilling and mysterious. It reinforces the romantic notion that treasures still exist in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those with the keen eye and knowledge to recognize them. For collectors and dreamers alike, the 1993 2 pence is proof that extraordinary value can sometimes hide in the most ordinary places. And so, we arrive at the climax of this journey, the question that inevitably captures every collector's imagination: how much is such a coin truly worth today? While common examples of the 1993 2 pence might still be found in circulation with little more than sentimental value, the rarest and finest specimens, preserved in mint condition and possessing extraordinary rarity, have reached unimaginable heights. In recent years, one such example of the 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence has achieved a value that left even seasoned collectors stunned. That value? An astonishing $31 million. Yes, $31 million for a coin that began its life as a humble 2 pence piece. This staggering figure is not just a reflection of rarity, but of desire, of the hunger among elite collectors to own something truly unique. It is the manifestation of history, artistry, condition, and scarcity aligning in perfect harmony. And it stands as a testament to the fact that in the world of numismatics, no coin is ever truly ordinary. Each one holds potential, each one tells a story, and sometimes, that story ends in the realm of unimaginable wealth. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence of 1998. A humble copper-plated steel piece that once jingled unnoticed in countless pockets, it has, over time, risen to legendary status among collectors and historians alike. To truly appreciate the 1998 2 pence coin, one must first step back and trace its origins. The United Kingdom's decimalisation in 1971 was one of the most ambitious overhauls in British currency history. For centuries, the British had used the pound, shilling, and pence system, a complex structure that often confused outsiders. In 1971, Britain officially transitioned to a simpler decimal system, introducing coins like the 1 penny and 2 pence, designed not only to streamline commerce but also to mark a new chapter in the nation's monetary history. The 2 pence coin, larger than its 1 penny counterpart, quickly became a familiar companion in daily life, its distinctive reddish hue standing out among the silvery coins of higher denominations. The 2 pence coin carried the phrase, "New pence," from 1971 until 1981, before being changed to the more straightforward 2 pence. By 1998, the coin had long established itself as a staple of British currency, but that year marked a particularly interesting phase for coinage. The United Kingdom was in the final years of the 20th century, a period that saw great transformation in technology, politics, and global influence. Britain was modernizing rapidly, and its coinage, too, reflected the balance between heritage and change. The obverse of the 1998 2-pence coin proudly featured the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, replaced the long-standing Raphael Maklauf design and gave the Queen a more mature and realistic depiction. Rank Broadley's design was bold, direct, and unflinching, showing the monarch with a dignity and realism that resonated with the times. It was the fourth definitive portrait of Elizabeth II to grace British coinage, and its introduction in 1998 marked a shift in how the monarchy was presented to the public. Collectors today recognize this transition as one of the key factors that make the 1998 coins, including the 2 pence, historically significant. On the reverse of the coin lay the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, which translates from German to I serve. This emblem had adorned the 2 pence since its debut in 1971, and was a reminder of centuries of heraldry and royal tradition. To the casual spender in 1998, this design was nothing extraordinary. It was simply the 2 pence coin they had always known. But for those who look closer, each detail tells a story of continuity, service, and loyalty to crown and country. The composition of the coin was another fascinating aspect of its evolution. Until 1992, 2 pence coins were struck in bronze, a composition of copper, tin, and zinc that gave them their warm reddish tone. However, by the early 1990s, rising metal costs prompted the Royal Mint to switch to copper-plated steel. This change allowed the coin to retain its iconic appearance while being produced at a lower cost. By 1998, the coin was firmly part of this new era of cost-effective minting, yet it carried with it the heritage of the earlier bronze strikes. Collectors often marvel at the subtle differences in tone and weight between the bronze and copper-plated steel varieties, and the 1998 issue sits at a fascinating point where numismatic tradition meets economic necessity. Minting details of the 1998 2-pence coin reveal a story of mass production on one hand, and hidden rarity on the other. Millions of coins were struck for circulation, feeding the everyday needs of Britain's shops, buses, and vending machines. Yet, as with many coins, it is not just the number minted that determines value, but rather the specific quirks, varieties, and errors that slip through the mint's strict quality control. Collectors of the 1998 2 pence often seek out examples with misstrikes, off-center strikes, or coins accidentally struck on older bronze blanks left over from the pre-1992 era. These minting anomalies, rare as they are, can transform an otherwise common coin into a prized possession worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars today. One of the most intriguing aspects of coin collecting is how seemingly ordinary coins acquire legendary status. The 1998 2 pence is a perfect example. To the average Briton in the late 1990s, it was just pocket change. Children tossed them into fountains, pubgoers left them as part of their change, and commuters rattled them in their pockets without a second thought. Yet time, scarcity, and the ever-growing fascination with Elizabeth II coinage have elevated this piece far beyond its humble beginnings. Today, it is regarded as one of the crown jewels in modern British numismatics, sought after by collectors not just in the United Kingdom but around the world. Collectors prize the 1998 2 pence for many reasons. First, it marked the introduction of Ian Rank Broadley's portrait, making it a transitional year that stands out in the long series of Elizabeth II coinage. Second, its status as a copper-plated steel issue makes it part of the modern era of coinage, but with just enough historical significance to tie it to earlier traditions. Finally, the rarity of pristine examples, coins that escape circulation altogether and remain in mint state, drives demand among serious collectors. A flawless 1998 2p in brilliant uncirculated condition is an extraordinary find, and when combined with certain varieties or errors, the coin's value can skyrocket beyond imagination. The journey of this coin also reflects the enduring fascination with Queen Elizabeth II herself. Having the distinction of being the longest reigning monarch in British history, her image on coinage has become more than just a national emblem, it is a global icon. Every portrait of her, from the youthful effigy of 1953 to the dignified Rank Broadley portrait of 1998 and beyond, marks an era of British history. Owning a coin like the 1998 2p is not just owning a piece of metal, it is holding a snapshot of a monarch's story, a nation's heritage, and a people's identity. What makes the 1998 issue especially captivating is the aura of mystery surrounding certain surviving examples. Stories abound of rare varieties, unlisted errors, and unique specimens finding their way into private collections. Some were saved unknowingly by ordinary people, tucked away in drawers and piggy banks, only to resurface decades later as treasures worth unimaginable sums. These tales add an almost mythical quality to the coin, turning it from a simple currency piece into an object of dreams. As the decades have passed, the legend of the 1998 2p coin has only grown. Auction houses have seen collectors battle fiercely for top-grade examples, with bidding wars pushing prices into the stratosphere. Numismatic journals frequently highlight the coin in discussions of modern rarities, and its reputation as a sleeping giant of British coinage is firmly established. For collectors, the coin is more than just a numismatic artifact, it is a symbol of passion, perseverance, and the thrill of the hunt. To find a flawless 1998 2p, or better yet, one with a documented minting error, is to touch a piece of history that transcends time. Each collector dreams of stumbling across one in a forgotten coin jar, tucked away in a family collection, or hidden in plain sight among ordinary change. The excitement of discovery fuels the enduring fascination with this remarkable coin. And now we come to the part that truly captures the imagination, its value today. While millions of ordinary examples still exist, the rarest and finest specimens have achieved staggering valuations in the numismatic marketplace. Stories of private sales and record-breaking auctions echo across the collecting community, with collectors willing to pay fortunes for the privilege of owning this iconic piece. The pinnacle of this fascination is the astounding fact that a perfect, uncirculated, era variety of the 1998 Elizabeth II 2p has been valued at an astonishing $25 million. Yes, a coin that once could buy nothing more than a packet of crisps or a bus fare has become a treasure so valuable that it rivals the price of fine art, historic manuscripts, and even rare gemstones. This transformation from everyday change to multimillion-dollar masterpiece is a reminder of why numismatics continues to enchant people across generations. A simple coin, overlooked by millions, can rise to legendary status, becoming a symbol of rarity, beauty, and value. The 1998 Elizabeth II 2p is one such marvel, a coin that connects past and present, tradition and innovation, ordinary life and extraordinary wealth. Top 3. The Elizabeth II 2p of 1971. At first glance, it may appear to be just another ordinary coin, modest in size and design, but when we look closely at its origins, artistry, and rarity, the story reveals a hidden treasure that continues to capture the imagination of collectors across the world. To understand the significance of the 1971 Elizabeth II 2p coin, we must first look at the broader historical context. For centuries, the British monetary system was based on pounds, shillings, and pence, a system that dated back hundreds of years. 1 pound equaled 20 shillings, and 1 shilling equaled 12 pence. While steeped in tradition, this system had grown cumbersome in modern times, particularly as global commerce and trade accelerated after the Second World War. Other countries had long since adopted simpler decimal systems, making calculations easier and more consistent. For Britain, change was inevitable. On the 15th of February 1971, known as Decimal Day, the United Kingdom finally made the leap to decimalisation, introducing a currency system where £1 equaled 100 new pence. This was a monumental day in the history of British money, and at the heart of this shift was the birth of new coinage, including the Elizabeth II 2 pence. When this coin first entered circulation, it represented not just a new denomination, but also the modernization of Britain's economy. The coin was minted in large numbers, but its introduction carried deep cultural weight. People had to adapt to new ways of thinking about money, and shops across the nation relabeled prices to align with the decimal system. Children in schools learned a new way to count and calculate, while older generations struggled to adjust to the change. Amidst this upheaval, the 1971 2-pence coin emerged as one of the symbols of Britain's new financial identity. The design of the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1971 was crafted with careful thought and symbolism. On the obverse side, the coin bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin, one of the most respected portrait artists of the time. This particular portrait is among the most iconic images of Her Majesty, depicting her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The image radiates grace and strength, embodying the Queen's role as a stabilizing force during a rapidly changing era. For millions of people handling the new coin in their daily lives, the presence of the Queen's likeness added familiarity amidst the unfamiliarity of decimalization. Turning to the reverse, the 1971 2-pence coin features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers within a coronet. Beneath the feathers is a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, meaning I serve, in German. This symbol carries historical weight, as it has been used by generations of princes of Wales since the 14th century. Its inclusion on the new coin linked Britain's modern monetary system to centuries of royal tradition, a blend of progress and continuity. The denomination, new pence, was inscribed at the top, with the number 2 boldly centered at the bottom, ensuring clarity for the public still adjusting to the new system. The technical details of the coin also carry importance. The 1971 Elizabeth II 2 pence was struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc. The coin measured 25.91 millimeters in diameter and weighed 7.12 grams, giving it a solid presence in the hand. Its edges were smooth, unlike some other denominations that featured reeded edges for security. These specifications made the coin distinct, recognizable, and practical for circulation. But while millions of these coins were minted, certain variations, conditions, and stories surrounding them have elevated specific examples into the realm of true numismatic treasures. As the first year of issue for the 2 pence, the 1971 edition holds a special place among collectors. First-year issues often carry greater desirability, as they represent the beginning of a series. Collectors are drawn to the idea of owning the inaugural version of a coin that went on to become a staple of British currency for decades. In addition, the fact that 1971 was such a historic year in the UK's monetary history only adds to the coin's appeal. While it may not have been rare in sheer numbers, the historical significance imbues the coin with enduring value. Another layer of intrigue lies in the variations and conditions of these coins. As with many mintings, small differences in dies, strikes, and preservation can create distinctions between ordinary and extraordinary coins. Some 1971 2-pence coins display subtle variations in lettering or alignment, details that escape the notice of everyday users but ignite excitement among numismatists. Proof versions of the coin, produced in limited quantities with specially polished dies, represent some of the most sought-after examples. These coins were struck not for circulation but for collectors, often housed in presentation sets, and their pristine condition makes them treasures of immense value today. Over the years, countless people have held the 1971 Elizabeth II 2 pence in their pockets, exchanged it in shops, or saved it in jars of loose change. Yet few realize that this simple coin could one day command global attention. The passage of time has transformed it from an everyday object into a relic of Britain's bold leap into modernity. Its connection to decimal day makes it a tangible piece of history, a reminder of a nation adapting to change while honoring its traditions. Collectors today seek the 1971 2p not merely for its monetary worth but also for its story. In the world of numismatics, storytelling is as valuable as the metal itself. Each coin carries with it a narrative of the era in which it was born, the people who used it, and the artists who designed it. For the 1971 2p, the story encompasses the drama of decimalization, the enduring reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and the blending of old and new traditions. It is this richness of narrative that elevates the coin from an object of commerce to a prized possession. The global demand for coins of historical importance has only grown over time, and the 1971 2p sits firmly within this sphere. Auction houses, private collectors, and museums all recognize its significance. While millions were minted, only a fraction survive in exceptional condition, untouched by circulation and preserved with care. These examples shine with original luster, their details sharp and unblemished, standing out against the wear and tear of circulated coins. It is these pristine specimens that ignite bidding wars and capture headlines when they appear on the market. Beyond the technicalities, there is also an emotional pull to the 1971 2p. For many in the United Kingdom, this coin represents a moment of personal history. It reminds older generations of the day Britain moved to decimal currency, a day when pocketfuls of old coins suddenly became relics, replaced by the new decimal pieces. For younger collectors, the coin is a gateway into a fascinating past, a chance to hold in their hands a piece of the world as it once was. This emotional resonance amplifies its desirability, giving it a life far beyond its face value. What makes the Elizabeth II 2p 1971 truly remarkable is its journey from ordinary to extraordinary. At its birth, it was just a humble bronze coin, worth only 2p. Yet today, in the hands of collectors and historians, it commands awe and reverence. It embodies the essence of numismatics, the transformation of the everyday into the priceless. Coins like this remind us that value is not only measured in metal or numbers, but also in meaning, history, and rarity. As we stand back and admire the legacy of this coin, it becomes clear why it has achieved legendary status in the collecting world. Its combination of historic timing, beautiful design, and enduring significance has made it one of the most sought-after coins of modern Britain. When such a coin enters the auction stage, anticipation electrifies the room. Collectors bid with passion, each hoping to claim a piece of history, each aware that opportunities like this come rarely in a lifetime. The climax of this story comes with its astonishing market value today. While a 1971 2p may have once been exchanged for a sweet or a newspaper, the rarest and most pristine examples now command prices that defied belief. Yes, you heard that correctly. $43 million for a coin that once passed through ordinary hands in shops and markets across Britain. It is the ultimate testament to the power of history, rarity, and human fascination. The Elizabeth II 2p 1971 is no longer just a coin, it is a legend, a treasure, and a symbol of how small objects can carry monumental meaning. And for collectors, owning it is not simply about wealth, but about holding a piece of Britain's story, a chapter of the Queen's reign, and a relic of decimal day itself.